Good evening and welcome to Centennial High School's 2016 Open House. I'm Webb, proud principal of Centennial High School, and thank you so much for being here tonight to share with us this evening. As you start your evening tonight, you'll go visit all of your classroom teachers for your students. You'll learn more about their class expectations, the rigor your students will be exposed to, and how we'll work together to ensure their success this academic year. But before you start those conversations, let's look back a little bit onto our success from last school year, because that's the foundation that we'll build upon for our success in 2016-17. As you may have heard us bragging about, we're very proud of the fact that Centennial High School and your students and teachers were recognized by U.S. News & World Report and Washington Post as being one of the top 10 public high schools in the state of Tennessee. Comparatively speaking, U.S. News & World Report ranked Centennial High School actually number 6 compared to traditional public high schools, and the Washington Post recognized Centennial as number 8 in the state of Tennessee as compared to other public high schools in the non-magnet realm. We're so proud of the work that your students have done in the past year, because that's the foundation that we'll build upon for even greater success this year. Also, a few things that are noteworthy from the previous school year is that we have been recognized over the past 2 years as being one of the top growth schools in the state of Tennessee, looking at our ACT scores. 2 years ago, Centennial High School was in the top 10 for the amount of academic growth that students see on the ACT. How that correlates for us in the building and the benefits to our students is that last year's senior class actually was offered nearly $18 million in college scholarships. Of those college scholarship offers, last year's senior class accepted close to $10.8 million in college scholarships. We know that ACT is just a number, but it's also a measure of success, a snapshot of success and college readiness that our students have, and that correlates to notoriety for our students, and it correlates to money in their pockets, that scholarship money that parents don't have to pay. So we're very, very proud of that. As you go through the night, you'll probably hear us talk about AP rigor, that is advanced placement courses that our students take here at Centennial, in addition to dual enrollment opportunities. Between AP coursework and dual enrollment opportunities, our students have about 28 different opportunities here on campus during the school day to earn college credit. Whether it's through one of the College Board AP courses that our teachers are trained on their curriculum and submit their coursework to the National Certification of College Board, or if it's one of the dual enrollment courses that our students take here on campus through Columbia State or MTSU, in courses like mobile app design, robotics, cybersecurity, engineering, architecture, criminal justice. Those are just a few of the on-site dual enrollment courses that students take here during the school year to earn college credit and the safety and security of our own campus before walking out the door to college. So we're very proud of that rigor that students are exposed to. As we look back on the success of the first 20 years of Centennial, that will be the theme as we go through the year, looking back at the success of the first 20 years of academics, arts, and athletics as we celebrate 20 years of excellence at Centennial. So you'll hear us talk about all of the great successes all throughout the school year, especially highlighted the week of homecoming in a few weeks as we talk about the first 20-year celebration. So as we start to talk about and think about this year, as we build upon the foundation from last, you'll hear us talk about 4 R's, a different 4 R's perhaps than Dr. Looney speaks of with the district's mission and vision, but similar in nature. You'll hear us talk about rigor, reading, RTI, and getting ready for Tennessee Ready. So those 4 R's you'll hear us consistently talk about. So let's talk first about rigor. I mentioned a few moments ago about the AP rigor that students are exposed to, but that's not the only rigorous coursework that we have on campus. All of our teachers, campus-wide, are using bell-to-bell instruction from the moment the students enter their room to the moment that they leave to really challenge students, engage them with challenging questions, encourage students to engage each other with challenging questions, to help students students understand the importance of analyzing text and being critical readers and critical thinkers. So the rigor that students are exposed to here at Centennial continues to grow and continues to build, and we believe that's part of the success. The reason that we have so much success in our building is that students come to school every day to some challenging coursework, regardless if it's standard courses, honors courses, or one of those college prep courses as well. You'll hear us talk a lot about reading and literacy over the course of the school year. Nationwide and statewide, the curriculum that we teach in all of our core content areas and even our non-core content areas have a focus on literacy. So what we do campus-wide is embed great literacy practices in all the courses that our students take here at Centennial. In addition to that, you'll hear us talk about a program called Achieve 3000 that we'll use with all of our freshmen and sophomore students through their English classes, through their directed studies courses or advisory periods, to really help them engage in the process of being critical readers, analyzing text together, specifically looking at two passages and being analytical in their approach of comparing and contrasting those two texts. And really learning to be close readers and as they look at informational text and grow from those experiences. So you'll hear your students talking a lot about those experiences as well. You'll hear us talk about RTI, which should be a familiar term to our returning parents from last year. RTI is Response to Instruction and Intervention, which is a state-required program for all high schools. Last year was the first year it was required in the state of Tennessee for high schools. And essentially what that means is that school systems are required by law in Tennessee to have a system in place of assessing students, finding out their shortcomings, and doing something about it during the school day. So we use Achieve 3000 STAR assessments periodically to assess students, to see where their strong points are, where their weaknesses are, to ensure that they're on grade level. And if they aren't on grade level, we use our RTI time or the time that we have reserved during I&E, intervention and enrichment, to reteach students to make sure that they are successful here live during the school day and that they're on track for graduation. And the last R that you'll hear us talk about is being ready for Tennessee Ready. Tennessee Ready is the state assessment that has replaced most of our end-of-course exams. Last year was the first year, a bit of a rocky year for state assessments. But I'm happy to report the state has learned from their mistakes and has promised to give us better assessments for this school year, and we are certainly ready for those assessments. You'll see in the power notes that I send out some parent tidbits in regards to Tennessee Ready. But here's what you need to know in the short. One is that all core content areas, grades 9 through 11, in history, in English, in math, and in science, those courses will have a Tennessee Ready or some sciences will still have an end-of-course exam that's given the end of April through the first week of May. And those assessments are heavy in literacy. They do require some analytical skills that are a little bit more challenging than in traditional assessments from years past. But your students will be ready because we are ready in our core content to teach students what they need to know to be successful in all areas. Also, that end-of-course exam, which is now Tennessee Ready, also counts at the end of the year 25% of a student's semester average for second semester. So you'll hear us use that language a lot. See the power notes for more information as far as detailed information about when those assessments take place, what the students will be assessed on, and I'm happy to report not only will not all of those assessments be online this year, the amount of time that we'll spend on testing is reduced. And in some areas, 30 to 40% reduce the amount of time spent on testing. So that's a great point and a great thing as we move together. So as we look ahead to this school year and how we're going to ensure that we're teaming together to be successful, your teachers are certainly going to make sure that the students are ready, bell to bell, engaged every single school day, and give you plenty of opportunities to help your student outside the school day if they need extra help after school or tutoring during their study hall. Your teachers will certainly be engaged with you and communicating with you to make sure you know those opportunities as well. Let's talk about this upcoming school year and how you can be involved and engaged engaged in your students' academic success as we team together to support your students. My first point of advice is to be engaged. Your students are so involved. They're going 100 miles an hour all day long, after school, the weekends. My encouragement to you is to find time during the day, during your weekend, to push pause and to be truly engaged with your students. They have so much going on in their lives. Make sure they're communicating with you regardless of what they tell you. They love for you to be engaged in what's going on in their lives. Social media is definitely a point of interest for you to make sure that you're monitoring what's happening, even with your high schooler, even if they're approaching 18 years old. It's still very sound practice for parents to be engaged in the social media practices of their students. We all know how important that is long term of what's engaged there. My second point of advice is to be informed. We're going to do all that we can do to make sure that we're sending out information to you to help you know what's going on academically, socially, with extracurriculars here on campus. So we'll be sending you the power notes every Monday to your inbox, and so take a glance at those. They'll tell you everything that's going on around campus. Also check out our school website. Beth Bivens is our webmaster. She does a beautiful job of updating the parent links on our website, of giving you information to help your student be successful here at school. You can visit our website by going to www.wcs.edu/CHS. And my last point of advice is to be involved. We want you to be involved in what's taking place here on campus. Even if you're a working mom like me, there are a lot of opportunities for parents to be involved in high school life for their students. The first and probably the most important way you can be involved is by simply joining the PTSO. Even if you can't actively participate in running a fundraiser or volunteering in the front office or doing some of the other big activities that PTSO does for us, by simply joining PTSO with a $35 membership fee, that money goes a long way in supporting the mission and vision of Centennial High School. This year you have a great t-shirt that you get also as a result of you joining the PTSO. So tonight as you walk around campus, you can join online, you can join in person tonight, but I highly encourage you to be a member of our fantastic PTSO. There are so many things in our classrooms around campus, smart boards, our office remodels, the technology that teachers are using, the additional curriculum supports. All of those things are provided, most of those things are provided to us by funding from the PTSO. Also, we have a way for you to be involved. We have 3 campus-wide fundraisers that the PTSO and CAC, the Cougar Athletic Club, will be producing this year. And those 3 fundraisers, the 2 academic fundraisers, fund all of our academic supports for teachers, and the one's campus-wide Cougar Athletic Club fundraiser supports all of our athletics. If you're not familiar with Cougar Athletic Club, it's like the umbrella organization, like the PTO, of all club and sports booster teams. So first, let me talk to you about our biggest tradition of PTSO fundraising here at Centennial, and that's the Centennial Holiday Show. The weekend before Thanksgiving every year, our campus is full from one end of the building to the other with vendors, craft vendors from all over the country, literally all over the country. And so your participation as just coming to that event, getting some of your holiday shopping in, that goes a long way in supporting the PTSO. The second fundraiser, which is new this year, is the Titans Ticket Fundraiser. So starting this Friday night at the football game, the PTO will be selling tickets to the December 11th Titans versus Broncos home game. That is December the 11th, I believe kickoff is at noon. And so Centennial receives a portion of all of those tickets that are sold to the Titans game. And if we have over 150 tickets that are sold to that game, after the game's over, anyone from Centennial who's at that game gets on the field access after the game. What a great way to celebrate our 20 years of excellence together than to all coming together at a Titans game, watching the game together, supporting Centennial's PTO, and then having on-field access afterwards. We're looking forward to that event. Be sure to buy your tickets the Friday nights at the football games. And the last fundraiser that I'll mention is the CAC cash raffle that was started last year. If you'll remember at one of our last home games of the school year, the CAC gave away, I believe, close to $10,000 in cash prizes from a raffle. And so they'll start selling those tickets very soon. The proceeds from that raffle go for campus improvements in the areas of athletics. So 20 years of of excellence in athletics has certainly taken its toll on our campus as far as the athletic facilities are concerned. But that fundraiser, that CAC raffle, goes a long way into making sure that our campus has the upgrades that it needs to continue to compete at a high level here at Centennial. That's all that I have for tonight. You're going to have a great evening and just know it. I'm looking forward to you meeting the fantastic faculty that we've put together for you this year. They are spectacular. I've had the best time observing them so far this year. So as you make your way to your classes, a couple points I want to make to you about your schedules that you're holding for your students, whether it's on your phone or if it's a paper copy. One thing is that tonight you do not have to go to your study hall. Your study hall teacher doesn't expect to see you tonight. There'll be other things that you can do, see some of the vendors in the hallway during study hall. Totally skip study hall tonight. There's no consequence for that. The other point I want to make is I&E. So on your schedule, either for 5th period or 6th period, your student has I&E, which was like homeroom for us, but is intervention and enrichment for us here at Centennial. You won't attend that class. So after 4th period is over, you'll go to the next academic class on the schedule. If you are, you have a student who's a junior or a senior, after 4th period, the next class says homeroom or I&E. Mark that one off your list. You're not going to go there tonight. You'll go to the next one, so you would go straight to 6th period. Same thing if you have a freshman or a sophomore. After 4th period, your 5th period class is an academic class. You would go to that one, but mark off I&E or homeroom, because after 5th period, you'll go straight to 7th period in your schedule tonight. So I hope that tidbit of information helps. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited. Look for me in the hallway. Look for all of our admin team. We look forward to meeting you tonight, and we hope that you have a great evening. We hope your students have an even better school year, and as always, go Cougars.